Here's a question for you. Is marriage overrated?
Why aren't people getting married anymore?
A new Pew Research poll found that 2 in 5 young adults think marriage is an outdated tradition.
Marriage rates are at their lowest right now.
Is marriage really even worth it?
More than half of marriages end in divorce.
If you get married, you have to be stuck with this person for the rest of your life, right? That's why you get married. So that's why it's declining. Why would you get married if you want to have just one partner when you can have multiple?
Marriage is stupid.
Welcome to the Married AF podcast, the self-proclaimed greatest marriage and relationship podcast in the world. We are your hosts, Matthew and Monica Powers, back for another episode after a week off. Happy opening weekend. Opening day has happened. It's opening weekend in baseball. I could not be more excited. Finally, the Boston Red Sox have won a game. They won their opener. They're 1-1, but that's better than expectations. Tyler O'Neill sets a Major League Baseball record, 5 home runs on 5 consecutive opening days. Nick Pivetta looked amazing last night on the mound. Brian Bayo looked good on Friday night. Rafi Devers looked good, but didn't play yesterday because of a sore. Things are looking good for the Boston Red Sox. This team is going to surprise people.
I did not know we became Barstool.
Listen, we're not, but I'm so excited about the Red Sox. I wasn't excited about them at all coming into the season, but now that it's here, I'm excited about the Red Sox.
We still have to go to opening game.
We do. We've been to one of them. It was in Tampa. It wasn't in Boston, but we've been to one.
But what I'm saying is we have to continue to go every single year because
the year we went, they lost to the Rays in a heartbreaker.
Oh, I mean, Cash was in tears.
He was so upset. He cried. But they went on to have the greatest season in Red Sox history, won the World Series. And didn't just win the World Series, but dominated the playoffs in the World Series. It was 2018, and it was absolutely perfect.
It was actually yesterday in 2018 when we did that.
Yes, it most certainly was because of the lovely memories that we get that pop up. Yes. I cannot believe that it has been 6 years since that happened.
Cash holding his little cute sign. I picked Mookie over Disney.
I know. Back when we had Mookie Betts. We don't have Mookie Betts. I think the only player remaining from that team is Rafi Devers.
Probably so.
I don't think there's anyone left over from the team. But hey, it's a new year. I'm so excited. They're gonna. I wasn't excited. I'm so excited. They're gonna make some noise. They're gonna do something.
Did the Helena kid from Helena, Alabama?
Dick Fitz did not make the team. He is in AAA. He was offered the AAA.
He's obviously part of the organization. But
yes, he's a part of the organization.
One step away from
he's one injury away or one reliever having a couple bad appearances from being there. I almost feel like he's the next guy in line to be there. But this is not a Red Sox podcast. This is not Red Sox talk, even though I could do this all day long. But we talk about marriage and we talk about relationships. But happy Easter to everyone. Easter will have come and gone when this comes out. But it is Easter. It is
tomorrow is Easter for us.
Tomorrow is Easter for us. But not only to celebrate the opening day and opening weekend of Major League Baseball, but you're right. Sunday is coming. Friday is good because Sunday is coming. That has just kind of stuck with me, and it's been awesome. A reason to celebrate for sure. And I know we have, the CEOs, as they're called, the Christmas and Easter onlys, people who go to church and that's it.
With their cute fits.
With their cute fits, they got outfits for a reason. And yes, we celebrate Easter. Sunday is coming. It's the resurrection of Jesus. It's the greatest miracle ever. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened and the greatest thing that will ever happen. But we can celebrate his resurrection and what he did, not just on Easter.
I agree.
Actually, I think it's something to be thankful for and to talk about every single day. It's the greatest thing that has ever happened. So why would we not?
His birth.
We had to have a birth, but for him to fulfill everything that he was supposed to fulfill.
But I feel the same way about that. Why don't we just pick Christmas?
Exactly.
I know we celebrate birthdays and all that fun stuff, but
celebrate it every day.
That's like Valentine's Day. It's stupid. If you love somebody, tell them all the time. Buy them things.
Listen, I agree. We love Jesus. We tell him that every single day, and I think we should all tell him we need more Jesus. You look around the world, we need a whole lot more Jesus out there. So before we really dive into what I want to talk about today, Gen Z Bible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's become a tradition here on the Married AF podcast, and I thought, what more fitting than the tune being rolled away.
Oh boy.
Why not? John chapter 20. Here we go. Yo, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene shows up super early in the morning while it's still dark as heck in the tomb and at the tomb. And guess what? She peeps that the big old stone that covered the tomb has been moved. So she bolts over to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one that Jesus was tight with. And she was like, yo, they snatched the Lord from the tomb. We have no clue where they put him. Peter and the other disciple are like, for real? Let's bounce to see the tomb, bounce to the tomb and check it out. They both start sprinting like mad, but the other disciple outruns Peter and reaches the tomb first. And actually, that is true.
I love that matches up with the
Absolutely.
actual scripture, because which one wrote this one?
John.
John was the one who
He's
wrote
like,
this book, and he was like, yeah, I outran.
Yeah, not just to throw Peter, just to jab him in the side just a little bit. By the way, I was faster than you, got there first. The other disciple stoops down and looks inside, and he peeps the burial clothes just lying there. But he doesn't go in. Then Simon Peter shows up, charging into the tomb, and he sees the burial clothes lying there. Oh, and by the way, the cloth that was wrapped around Jesus' head isn't with the burial clothes. It's all folded up in a separate spot. Then the other disciple, the one who reached the tomb first, goes inside too, and he sees it all and starts believing. At that point, they didn't fully understand the scriptures that Jesus said to have had to rise from the dead. So they peace out and head back to their own crib. But Mary stays outside the tomb, bawling her eyes out, and she's crying. She stoops down and peeks into the tomb. And guess what she sees? 2 angels in white sitting where Jesus's body was, one at the head and one at the feet. The angels are like, yo, why you weeping, woman? And Mary's like, they took away my Lord, and I have no clue where they put him. After saying that, she turns around and sees Jesus standing there, but she doesn't realize it's him. And Jesus asks her, why are you crying, woman? Who are you looking for? Thinking he's the gardener, she's like, yo, if you moved him, just let me know where you put him and I'll take care of it. Jesus was like, yo, Mary. She turned around and was like, Rabbi, which basically means master. I'll stop there. I thought one more fitting way to read the Gen Z Bible. It's Easter, the resurrection of Jesus, to get what the Gen Z's take is on it all.
I really wish that there would have been, yo, woman, why are you looking for the dead among why are you looking for the dead, or the living among the dead, or my words are backwards today.
You're all messed up from the Gen Z Bible.
Gen Z messed me up, but
Gen Z has completely messed you up.
I want to hear that version of.
It's so funny. I just, yo, woman.
Why are you looking for the living among the dead?
Mary's like they're bawling her eyes out. But, you know, if you're Gen Z, that's the interpretation. I love that it is in there of, hey, I outran Peter.
John's faster than Peter.
That's what we know. So whenever we get to heaven, I need to see a race. Maybe you think maybe to see if Peter can.
There trying, hey, let's go again today. Today's the day.
You think Peter, after seeing everything and that, that being in scripture that everyone reads, is thinking like, John, I can't believe you would do that. Like, John, why in the world would you actually put that in the Bible and let everyone know about that? And I bet he's been training for days and days and days and days, years, centuries, trying to, like, you know what, John, I'm gonna beat you. I mean, he's doing sprints, he's doing the parachute runs, he's doing box jumps, lunges, he's doing the whole thing if he needs to try and beat Peter. But I thought that was funny.
So anyways, there is sarcasm.
Today,
what are we talking about?
Relationship wise, because it's been a minute since we've kind of touched on this just a little bit.
Nervous.
Don't be nervous. Be happy. I got more stories.
Okay.
Got more kind of, hey, people, what do you think about this? Which are always a lot of fun. They may or may not blow your socks off. We'll see. But essentially, what happens, not whenever, not necessarily that you're not being able to be intimate in the bedroom, but when you just seem to be off, that maybe you're just not completely jiving together in perfect harmony, so to speak. They're not saying you're not doing it. You're not somewhat enjoying it. But, man, maybe it's just not going how it has in the past or how it previously has. And you're just maybe a little frustrated with what may or may not be going on there.
Okay.
So essentially, how do we overcome some challenges in the bedroom? Because we've had the full out sex episodes and we've talked intimacy and everything. But I think that this is something that people deal with. And there's a various number of reasons as to why they deal with that. So I think it's something a lot of people can relate to. Okay. So first story is going to kind of get right into it. And listen, let me preface this before I get into it. But I don't want you to drop the hammer on this because I think a lot of people have dealt with this and probably currently dealing with this, and people will dealing with this. So, sexual issues after infidelity. Again, I know where we both stand on this, but I think a lot of people deal with it. So, just wondering if anyone experiences to share about sex problems after infidelity. We've both decided that we're going to try and stay together and work on the marriage 15 months ago after I found out. We have young kids, and I grew up with a single mom due to my dad's cheating, so I wasn't very keen on to repeat it. He was remorseful and did the work. My issue is, however, I still often am stuck in the bedroom. It's really, really hard for me to have desire for someone who cheated on me. Plain and simple, he's still objectively very attractive to me physically, but I think I associate sex with his affair almost too much now. When his affair came out, he insinuated to some close family members that we had a dead bedroom, and that's why he did it. So, this is so completely false that it infuriates me. We've been together 13 years, and we've always had sex a couple times a week, unless one of us was traveling or ill. He would love it every day, twice a day. I'm happier every third day or so. I'm not happier with any less than that. We had a mismatched drive, but not a dead bedroom. I think now I'm completely stuck because I feel there's no satisfying him. And he's always going to want more than I can give him. It's not true, but it's sad. He seems quite unhappy with our frequency. How do I overcome this?
You were right.
Exactly. I mean, you're feeling all sorts of just...
I wanted to stop you, but I didn't.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So your thoughts? I know this happens. This happens actually often.
Yes.
For a lot of people, this is a thing. A lot of people are not satisfied, and they stray outside of the marriage on both male and female. It's not right. Definitely not the way to do it. No matter how infrequent it may be, how less you're not getting it. We've talked about it is a need for a man. Still doesn't make it right, but people do it. We're flawed people. So how in the world, if you've decided, hey, we're going to make it work, he is remorseful, he's done the work, but she's still struggling with this side of it. How do you overcome that if you've made that decision, hey, we're going to make sure this works?
I don't even know where to start.
Okay.
So I'll just go. There's obviously zero communication.
You're right.
Because if you think that there's nothing wrong in the bedroom, because she said that was absolutely wrong because he told other family members
that he just wasn't getting it. Clearly that wasn't necessarily the case.
There's two sides to every story.
Well, there's usually three, but yes.
In this situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's always three because there's going to be the truth. But what she sees and what he sees. And if there's not communication, obviously there's not because he's having to go elsewhere to fulfill his needs.
Yep.
Because she thinks everything's good. He obviously doesn't. So there was zero communication with that. There's the first mistake.
Now, do you think that he ever maybe tried to communicate that at all and she just wasn't having it? She's like, nah, this is enough. And he's saying, hey, I need more. I don't know. He may have, he may not have. But he could easily maybe express that.
But we don't know his side of the story. This
Exactly.
is what you're asking, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Another thing besides the communication, if you have committed to going forward in this relationship, you have either not forgiven him or let go of it.
You're right.
Because if you already have, there is zero reasons to look to the past. If you're still physically attracted to this guy, there should not be an issue in the bedroom. Because literally, sex is strictly physical.
Yes. I mean, you got to have that emotional connection.
Sure.
For it to, yes, sex can be purely physical.
Absolutely.
But there's always an emotional tie.
But there's
to
some
it.
kind of attachment to it.
Absolutely.
But she has not moved on from what happened 15 months ago.
No. And we've talked about this, but she's holding on to that. I almost feel like she may be holding on to it to drop that bomb at some point in time. I mean, he was dead wrong, but it seems like he's done.
Didn't he admit it?
He admitted it. He looks like he probably went to counseling. That he's done everything he has had to do. And
but
I would say
she's the one that can't get over.
She can't get over what he did. And I think that's just almost holding on to the resentment. She has not truly forgiven him for what he did. And until you do, this will hang over your head forever. And you ultimately have to make a decision. If he's done all the right things, he continues to do all the right things, you have to make a decision. Am I going to truly forgive him so I can stop letting this hang over my head, or you got to go? Because it's gonna be one of those two options.
They're not evenly yoked in the bedroom, obviously.
No, they're not.
But there's other things that you can do. I mean, she needs to go listen to the sex menu.
Yes, we've talked about that ad nauseum.
Itch because it makes me irritated.
I see. We'll call it that. We'll talk about it. Yeah, it's just an eye itch, not a twitch at all. Okay.
No, my eyes itching, not twitching. There's major difference, Matthew Powers.
Fully aware there is. At the end of the day, you're right. It all boils down to talking, and we don't know what the communication side looks like for it.
Because this is just her side.
Yeah, but she's got to ultimately. You have to fully forgive, like fully forgive. Otherwise, this is going to hang over your head forever. I like this because I thought about us when this came up.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
My husband and I have been together for a decade, and I realize that we've had conversations on just about everything, even the extremely hard conversations that sometimes people like to skip over because it's uncomfortable. Any issues we've had with each other, any concerns about other people, we're truly able to come to one another and air our grievances because we know we're safe with one another. Do you feel safe with your spouse to talk about any and everything?
With us?
I think for us, that's an absolute yes.
Zero doubts.
Zero doubt. But I think for anyone who's listening, this is a question you have to ask yourself. It's a question you have to ask yourself and your spouse, because if this answer is no, then there's work to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to say that you're
even
doomed.
If you have to think about the answer.
Not to say that you're doomed, not to say that the marriage is falling apart. But if the answer is not over emphatically, yes, I feel like I could talk to my spouse about any and everything, you just know there's work to do.
The same question to answer if you have to think about kind of the same thing. If you can trust them with anything, are you safe? Do you trust them with your life?
Right.
If you can't say yes to that,
I mean, are you able to sleep with fully each night, not knowing that your spouse is going to
with one eye open?
Spouse isn't going to smother you with a pillow or something like that. I mean, if that happens, I mean, it's real. But I think it's a great question to truly ask yourself and give yourself an honest answer. And if it's not yes, because I know I can come to you with anything.
That's a good question, because I don't think of things like that because I don't have that issue.
Well, I didn't either until I read this. And I think probably a lot of people don't. And my hope is that a lot of people's answer to this will be, yeah, absolutely I can. But I know that there's a vast majority of people who are like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can go to my spouse with this or with that.
Would it be because you want to talk to them about something? Maybe not even about each other, but about a mutual friend.
Yes.
And you're afraid that if you tell them your thoughts on a situation with this mutual friend, that they would go tell them?
Perhaps. And if so, that's still, you're not able to answer, because she even says that, we about our concerns with each other or other people. We've been able to come with each other about any and everything. And I think they're the same thing with it. We've had every conversation we could ever possibly have. And there's nothing that's been off the table, and it's not always fun in the most great thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it's so beneficial.
Yeah.
So this is a question. Can you talk to your spouse about anything? And if it's not an emphatic yes, especially this, do you feel safe to talk to your spouse about anything? An emphatic yes. And man, if you're an emphatic yes, it's pretty good. Puts a pretty good place of where you are in your marriage. You're pretty strong. If it's no, you got some work to do there.
That's a deep question.
It is a very deep question. Who knew we'd get so deep on this, right? All right, here is another one. My husband told me that he is extremely unhappy with our sex life.
Why is this all about sex today, Powers?
It's because I think it's something a lot of people challenge. Last one wasn't. I mean, come on now. He has recently not been able to finish, I'll say that with air quotes, when we are having sex, and it ends to him doing it himself. He is unhappy in our relationship and ready to give it up altogether. The issue with sex is a huge factor for him, and he says I can no longer make him finish. We'll say that. How can I spice it up and help fix the problem? This is causing my husband to lose attraction towards me, and he has brought up divorce. Some history about here we go. About 2 years ago, I found my husband had been texting back and forth with a coworker. And when I dug a little deeper, found that he had made multiple dating profiles, some dated back a few years. This has caused a lot of arguing in our relationship. We have both said and done terrible things, and I've had a really hard time moving forward and keeping my cool. This has created a lot of anxiety in me and a loss of self-worth. Instead of dealing with it, I've been taking it out on my husband. What do I do? So hubby has a little problem in the past. Maybe not saying that he actually cheated physically, but definitely emotionally. Dating profiles, texting back and forth with a coworker. But he says, you can't make me finish. So he does it on his own. I feel like there's a lot of just real lifestyle change that's got to take place here on both sides.
Yeah. I see more of this is his problem.
I think more so than anything.
Do you agree?
I think so, because here's the thing.
Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're and
I might get some backlash from this.
Oh boy, here we go.
But if you're not having to have a pill to make it, work, and it still works, and you can't make it happen with a woman, and your hand is doing all the work, I see it as a him problem, because how many kids has Mama June had?
I'll kind of go on in the same direction. Okay, listen. The Mama June's had some work done. Got a new television show and everything and all that.
Sure.
But I know this may be mean. When you initially looked at Mama June,
I didn't know she was only 2 years older than me.
And that's even scary. But when you first looked at Mama June, okay, not meaning hate here, you're like, well, it shows any woman,
girls have the power,
can get a man. Okay, so I agree. This is a him problem. This is a him issue. So how do you fix the problem?
Turn off the lights.
Listen, I guess that's one way to... What do you turn off the lights and just pretend it's your hand? Because that's what's working for this guy. Maybe I don't know. So how do you fix the problem? Because she's wanting to spice things up, and boy,
obviously you can't, because this guy doesn't seem to want to. Did it say that? How long have they been married?
They have been married. It didn't say, but 2 years ago is when she found the dating profiles and all that. My thought is,
were these profiles pre-marriage or? There's a lot of other.
No, it was during the marriage is what it looked like. But my thought would be, how do you fix this problem? I don't think it really said anything about kids. Nothing about kids either. So if you want this to work, Like you need to explore things together. If he's willing to do
Fishnets
that,
and stilettos.
that's one way to do it.
Put it on the menu.
Put it on the menu. Put it on the menu. But explore together. Find out together. Hey, find out what makes him tick. Why is it? Instead of trying to feel bad or, not trying to get over
you're
it.
the problem.
Thinking you're the problem. Find out from
It's
him.
not you.
Like, dude, what is it that gets you there?
Because I guarantee you, if you were to go and try to be with another man, he wouldn't have a problem.
No, yeah, you're right. He would. Things would shift a little bit. You need to be able to explore things together. Find out what makes him tick. Find out what gets him going. What his fantasies are. And go from there. And then see what happens from there. But you
Put
just
it on the menu.
put it on the menu. All right.
Craziness.
So this one.
Oh boy.
Is your spouse's past important? Is your spouse's past important? Here's the thing. As it turns out, my wife was a bit of a wild child. Finding out recently she slept with nearly 100 men and several women before me. This makes me extremely uncomfortable. All I can do is picture her with those people and not me. Am I crazy to feel this way? How do I get past this?
Yes, you're crazy.
I totally agree.
Why are you thinking about that when she's committed to you now?
Of
course. Sow your wild oats. Obviously, she sowed them.
She did. And
Now they're married? Are they married?
They're married.
Okay.
They're married. Doesn't say anything about children. It was, just really a short, simple
unless you're
question.
still acting on all of the past.
Unless this is still a problem, this is not a problem.
No.
It doesn't matter what the past looks like. Everyone's got a past. Some are much darker and uglier than others. But here's the thing, man.
That's why I hate telling our story.
I know, because not the prettiest. And that's another conversation for another day,
Right.
maybe. But
I understand this question.
I totally get this question because we can relate to this
Absolutely.
in a sense because the past was ugly. But here's the thing.
But I don't think about it.
No, I don't either.
I hope you don't.
No.
Not something I'd ever asked.
No.
Because I don't have to think about that because I feel safe with you.
Exactly. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, so she slept with 100 men and some women and has this wild, wild past. She chose you.
Yep. Out of all of those people.
She
had options.
She had plenty of options, it seems. She picked you.
Bro.
So at the end of the day, what in the world does it matter? Because she chose you over all of the other stuff, over
Sounds
the
like
wild.
You're a little jealous.
Maybe a little jealous, maybe probably insecure.
Way insecure, but if she's still sleeping with you, why does it matter?
She picked.
She could have
you.
options.
So you need to just get over it, man. She picked you. The past is the past. There's nothing we can do to change the past. But if you're not careful, you can allow the past to wreck your future.
Absolutely.
And she had, she doesn't say she was doing any of this while she had met you or with you or anything. So get over it.
Can't go forward if you're looking in the rearview mirror.
You're exactly right. So, these are some of the things, challenging bedrooms we see all day. The past, can't get past it. This guy only loves his hand. Infidelity issues. It's all right there in front of us. So overcoming those challenging bedroom moments when you just aren't on the same page, communicate, explore, have fun together. Use the menu the best that you can. Prioritize each other's intimacy over your own.
Don't think it is a judgment zone. Like if you're exploring and doing things that you've never done before, you can't make judgment.
No, enjoy that. It's
Have
new.
fun.
It's new experience for both of you. So fully enjoy that and prioritize the other's satisfaction over your own. And if you both do that, man, you will get out of whatever funk that you may think that you're in. But support each other through that, man. The menu, it's a great thing.
Why do we keep revisiting that?
Because
are there a lot of sex questions that we keep getting or something?
Because it's a very helpful thing.
Okay.
One, you can feel safe with each other, but two, it just helps out a lot. We'll leave it at that. Last one. This one's hilarious to me.
Oh boy.
Our marriage has been struggling for the last year. We have no intimacy together. When we have sex, it isn't good, and she seems uninterested. But She seems to be overly flirty with me and going out of her way to make sure she looks good. Hair and makeup are always done, wearing different clothes, high heels, but I just feel like something is off. Now, I know I'm in the wrong here, but I recently created an account on Tinder because I wasn't getting what I needed from her. Much to my surprise, after a few days, I found my wife on Tinder. I asked her about it. She said it was just harmless fun, and then she began to question how I found out, and she hasn't spoken to me since.
Before I found out about the Tinder part, that she was on it, my first instinct was, oh, sweetheart, she's not doing any of that for you.
You are exactly right.
But I was thinking it was for someone else, but not for that.
My biggest thing is he found her on Tinder, and now she's mad at him because he created an account on Tinder. Now, he's dead wrong.
Yeah, that's dumb, and it was not. She's not doing it for harmless fun. Obviously, I thought she was, honestly, girls that are like that typically don't dress up for their spouse. They dress to impress other females.
This is true. My thought was, yeah, she definitely isn't zhuzhing herself all up for you.
No.
There's definitely another reason as to why.
But now we know the truth.
As far for all them other people on Tinder, which he just, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm doing this dumb thing. I'm going to sign up for this dating website, and then bam, here's my wife on this dating website.
Did they match?
That doesn't say.
Is that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is that
I think you
is it the hot or not thing?
Hot or not. That is like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Hotornot.com. I wonder if that still exists.
I'm scared to type it in.
I'm not going to do it because I don't want what may come from it. But their husband and wife, they secretly made profiles on Tinder, and now they have found themselves on Tinder. What do you do with that?
Maybe they should go on a date.
Listen, maybe a little role play action here. Maybe this will bring things back together. I don't know.
All I think of is Modern Family.
Modern Family. What?
Clive
Bigsby. Yes.
And what was Claire's name?
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, Monica. I feel so bad now.
Juliana.
There
it is. I think of the Four Christmases movie with Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. It's where my immediate mind went on this. So,
the opening scene.
So listen, you found your spouse on Tinder because, after you were already married because y'all were both looking for something else. Y'all have a lot of work to do. Man, y'all got some changes to make. But man, maybe take this weird little thing and embrace it with each other and not all the other people out there, and run with it. See if it can fix things. You don't know that.
Was he saying he's not satisfied or she's not satisfied?
He's saying he was not satisfied. Obviously, she wasn't either. He said there's been no intimacy together whatsoever. They rarely have sex, and when they do, she seems uninterested. It's probably because she's getting all sorts of attention.
She's got to swipe left or right.
She's constantly swiping. She's tired from all the swiping with all the people on there.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
communication.
It's always key. Every single time.
Why are people so afraid to talk to each other?
I don't know.
I've learned that people don't like to hurt each other's feelings. Well, maybe if somebody said something that you needed to hear and it hurt your feelings, you needed your feelings hurt.
We need people in our lives who will hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
Because we're not good.
Bullies are not the bad guy in every situation. They're not bullying you because they told you the truth.
No, we need people in our lives. We need to give people that authority in our lives to let us know when we're out of line. Mm-hmm. And when maybe we're not doing the right thing and we're going down the bad path, to say, hey, idiot, hey, you're acting like a real jerk right now. Hey, you're talking to your wife terribly right now. You're treating your kids like crap right now. You got to change, or we have to have those people in our lives, because if we don't, we're going to continue to go down that path. And the next thing I know, I'm going to find my wife on Tinder. It's what happens.
After you make your own account.
Yes, after I make my own account and go on Tinder and
Unbelievable.
just swipe all day long.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah. So how do you fix all this? Explore, prioritize each other.
Find Jesus.
Find Jesus and talk. Listen, if anything at all, just talk. So much can be done if we just talk to each other.
Absolutely.
So, all right. We got to go.
Yes.
Down for another one. Let's go Sox. Let's go win. Win the series. They win tonight. They can't lose the series. They got to win the next two to win the series. So we're out of here. God, we love you so much. We're thankful for what you do. We're just thankful for this platform and what you're doing with it. And it is yours. You own it. You take care of it. And God, just pray that through all the nonsense that may go on, that people are able to find foundation in you and their relationship. Because without you, it doesn't work. But what we can guarantee is 100% of the time it will work and it will not fail whenever it's done your way. And we're thankful for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Play ball.